Yeah, let me try to give you all a better description of these UAPs, the ones that I encounter. I'll probably make a couple more videos because I mostly put a lot of stuff in the comments and stuff like that, over different sites. I never really made a video, talking about it. You So first thing I'm gonna describe and explain is the electricity inside the Fireball UAPs. I couldn't really tell like what was inside the Fireball as far as like if it was a vehicle or something, because the shape looked odd. You could see the roundness, but at the same time it almost had like an oval shape to it. Like you could see the front was smaller than the back. The back was like taller, bigger, but the fire surrounded it. It just made it look round. So I couldn't really tell whether it was the fire or the blurriness or whatever. But back to the electricity. The electricity in the middle of the the sphere, it was basically like about 6 or 8 inches thick. It was thick, and the color was like a light royal blue. A light royal blue. Like I say, it was about probably 6 or 8 inches thick. And as far as the length, I say the length had to be maybe 4 or 5 feet, if it was stretched out. I never got a chance to see it stretched out straight. It was always bent or dipped like that as it goes up and down. And but I was dipped, the size of it, it was maybe like I say a foot, 1 foot from the side of your body, like the left and the right. It extend about maybe one foot. It went across the body. It was long enough to go across the body and stick out about maybe a foot on each side. And like I say, it wasn't attached to anything. It was just going up and down by itself, in the middle of the air. And as it was going up and down, like I say, it was a pretty blue. You could see most definitely it was electricity. It's almost like a bent rope or something. It's going up and down. And the background and everything around it was like a bright white. It was bright white. So the electricity stood out really good. And guess I'll talk about the translucent fireball. Like I said, it was translucent, and you could tell that it was somehow able to be controlled as far as the brightness of the fire and all that. It was just about the way everything, how it looked. And you could see that it had more abilities, and it was just showing a little. You can imagine what its capabilities are. But anyway, the around the edges, the fire was more prominent. You could see it tracing around the edge, so it was more prominent. It wasn't jumping or nothing like that. It was like a contained fire. Uh, you could see through it. The edge of it was a darker fire. You could see the trim most definitely. And I say the blurriness had to come from the fire. I don't know whether it was heat or whatever, but it seemed like it should be heat because it was fire. And just like when you driving down the road on a hot day, you know, in the hundreds or 90s, and you can look down the road and you can see heat waves, you know, on the road. So that's the way the blurriness and the waves looked around the craft. And the light, like I say, was almost like it's had a mind of its own. The light reminded me of also like an entity, and also like extremities. The reason why I say extremities is because light is basically like it's light. Light from dark, you know, the opposite of dark is light. And it's hard to imagine that light can grab you or pick you up or move things because it's light. So that'll puzzle you. Yeah, and like I said, I couldn't see the being, but it's definitely a being in there, standing upright. In the Fireball, wherever they went, everything was all together, and they never sat down. They stood up, standing upright. So that was wild looking. And like I was saying in my other video, the blinking, it was basically like the being, like in the front of the craft. The electricity was behind the beam, and even though the electricity was horizontal, it was horizontal from the side of the craft behind the beam. So if you see the craft from the front, the horizontal electricity is actually like that, like facing, you know, toward the beam. The electricity was sideways in the craft. One end pointed toward the beam, and the other end pointed toward the back of the craft. So in actuality, the horizontal, it was turned straight behind the beam. But if you see the craft from the side, you'll see it. So by being straight behind the beam and about 8 inches thick or something, when it goes behind the beam, that's when it's like when the light blink and it goes out, the light comes back on. When it looks like it comes back on and it came over the beam, and you see the light, and it goes down, the light goes out, it goes under the beam. And you see the light, it comes back up, light goes out, goes up. That's where the blinking comes from. It's behind the beam. It's behind him. But if you see it from the side, you're going to see the electricity sideways. If you see it from the front, you're going to see the brightness. And you're only going to see when it goes over and under. Every time it goes behind them, it's like the light went out. So that's where the blinking is coming from. Yeah, so it was a blessing to see that, because before I synced it, I was seeing other videos and seeing them blinking lights, and yeah, I synced that and was wondering what was it. So I got a chance to see it, the electricity. It's just like the way I describe it, the fire around it, the whole craft. I just say craft because it was basically in the air, but it looked like just fire, light, and you couldn't see the electricity unless you was actually really close or inside, like the way I was. Other than that, you're gonna see the light, and then depending on how bright they shine the light, that's all you're gonna see is light. You know, I guess depending on what they want you to see. And yeah, strange looking. You can see it looking like people standing up, flying. The way it moves, it was even strange looking. It was almost as if they were jumping, like you see them from a distance, and you could tell, you could judge anything that's moving, if it's coming, that how long it might take for it to get to you. So it'll look strange because you can say, okay, you're judging it, but all of a sudden it's closer. Before you know it, when you thought it shouldn't be that close in it, it's like almost, it looks tripped out. Be from a distance, before you know it, it's right there by you. But yeah, I seen them coming. There's about 8 or 9 of them. I thought it was the air and water show at first, and that was my first time seeing it. Those, but I say like about in the 1970s, I did see something else, and it was silver looking. That one, I didn't see any fire or whatever. It was a long time ago. It had to be about probably 19, maybe 72, 1972, early 70s. But that one, it looked like an actual pinball that you'll see in a pinball game, the 80s arcade, a pinball. It was shining, but also it had the brightness to it. That was bright too. It shined really bright like it was like the sun came out, but it was even brighter because the sun was already out. And that one just came out of nowhere. Like I was just looking, and something just came out of nowhere and stopped just like that. Just stopped. Grabbed my attention, like, I'm looking. Seemed like didn't no one else see it, even though it was daytime. And like I say, and it seemed like it made everything brighter. I guess most people probably thought the sun isn't just came from behind thin clouds or something or whatever. But far as me, I'm looking at this thing. It came, boom, and it stopped. So it caught my attention and tripped me out because it stopped. It didn't slide or nothing. It boom, just stopped. After coming in from the speed, it was so fast. Like, it's impossible to stop like that. But that's the way it came. And the brightness, it got real bright. And I'm looking at it. I remember being with my mom's also, so I'm trying to get her to look at it. But she was talking to one of the neighbors. And telling me, like, man, be quiet, don't be rude. You see me talking. And I'm like, man, look, this thing right here because it's right in front of me, like maybe 50 feet across, but it's right in front of us. And we're like in the projects. So we were like on about the 9th floor. And this thing was at about the 9th floor because I'm looking off the porch. And straight across, like I say, she was in the conversation. So I said, man, the first time, okay, I ain't bother her, but I'm steady looking at this thing. It grew brighter, and it dimmed, where I could see the silver ball, and it just stood there. And I could tell it acknowledged me because, you know, it was right there. But anyway, I noticed, what made me notice that this thing is intelligent is because it was steady sitting there, and I said, man, I'm trying to wait for my mom to finish this conversation so I could say, man, look. But they was talking. I'm looking like, man, they ain't gonna never stop talking. So I tapped her again, mom, look at this thing. And I guess she got tired of me or whatever. And the thing I was looking at, the silver ball, it knew. That's why I think the intelligent, it knew that my mom was about to turn around and look this time. And as soon as I say, mama, look. And as soon as she turned her head like just a little to make her move, the thing, it took off. It kind of went like diagonally up. Just took off. Took off about the same time she would turn her head to say, what, boy? And I looked, I was speechless because it was gone. But yeah, that was my first time seeing one of those. So it was a long time ago. I did see one. And I did see a black one also. It was a shiny black. It was black. I seen that at night. And that was 2023. I seen it. And it made me think about the silver one and maybe doing some camouflage technique because it was at nighttime and it was black. I just happened to look up and it was just going smoothly through the neighborhood, maybe about good 50 feet, 100 feet in the air. It looked low. It was it's going over the telephone poles, the wires. I see it was maybe about 20 feet over the telephone wires. It was at nighttime. And I just happened to look to the side and see something dark at nighttime in the air, low, just going across. And I thought it was a balloon, but it's moving too steady, like it was on a road or something. It was moving too steady the way the movement. No, this can't be no balloon. It's not, doing the balloon moving or nothing. It's straight. And yeah, I seen that one last year. And like I say, the ones that look like fireballs, I seen them in May 2022, May 16, 2022, on a Monday, about 8-something at night, almost 9. And it was like the sun was setting, because I'm over here in Chicago, so the sun was setting. It was still a little light outside, but it was getting dark. So you could look at the sky and see like a little bluish light, like it's still light outside in a way, but getting darker. And you could look like toward the east, and it'd be darker. But the sun was going down. It was just about down. And like I said, it was about 9 of them. And the way they came, and the way they were standing, It was like somebody pulling up on you, like an army. And please, they didn't look worried. They looked like, man, they've been doing this for the longest. They looked like warriors. They were standing like warriors. They were standing hey, warriors. The way they stood and the way they came. Um, and it automatically made me think just the way they looked, the fireball and the people standing and the way they was standing up, and I'm seeing somebody standing up and something flying, a flying fireball. It was just made me think about God automatically and the way they came, and I'm like, this is not from Earth. This is nothing that was ever made that from man that I know. None of these factories. So when they was coming, and I noticed them standing up in the fire, and they was inside the fire, and all this, and I'm seeing the light. Like I said, I thought about God, and I'm looking like this stuff is serious. And that made me automatically like, my thought was like, this is something godly, this is some spirit, this is something from the Bible. I'm like, hey, test me. See if I'm a man of God. See if I'm lying. Let's get this over with. Do not play with me. Let's get it over with. Find out now. Let me know now. What do you think? Test me. Yeah. And like I say in my other video, I described, the way the light and how it went up and the inside. And it was like most of the inside part, it took me like almost a year to remember that part. I was remembering everything else, and like I say, after I was looking at the electricity and everything around, and I'm like, man, I kind of thought to myself, like, man, what's this? And before you know it, I'm back like on the ground, on my porch, on the stairs, because that's where I was. I'm back there. Now I'm seeing them moving away. And the reason why I say I didn't remember that part, like in the inside, until about a year later, because boom, I'm right back on the porch, on the stairs, and I'm looking up, and I still see them just like the way I seen them coming. And I went up in there, inside the fireball. After I boom came back out, I'm back on the stairs. Now I'm seeing them leaving. I forget I was in there just that quick, and I was looking at them. And, oh man, my phone. I got to record these things, so I caught them leaving. That's the video I got on YouTube. It's called "People Driving Fireballs." It's about 3 minutes. At the end, I could have got more, much more, but I don't know what happened. I don't know whether I got nervous, my finger hit the button and stopped the recording or whatever, but I was trying to get everything I could. But I was noticing the video, I was like, man, yeah, they flying over Chicago, and yeah, they leave. Not completely forget that I was up in there. Forget just that quick, I was recording it like I'm just seeing it for the first time. And like about a year, it happened in 2022. So about like this year, the beginning of this year, I remembered, like, oh man, that's right, that part I was, for some reason, it was held back from me for about a year. So it was meant for me to bring it out or remember it this year. And yeah, wow. But like I say, they came across, what I'm saying, please, I'm from Chicago. I've been living here all my life. And you see some guys or women or a group of people like coming, and you like, oh man, they own some business. They own something. You can see it. Like, oh, they serious. They ain't playing. They look like straight gangsters or something. Somebody They on some serious business. That's the way it looked to me, like the way they approached and the way they were standing. Like, please, these whoever they are serious. And it, like I said, it looked real strange and spiritual. Made me think about the Bible. So that's right off the bat. I was like, hey, test me. You know, it wasn't too much I could think of, but God and this opportunity, the stuff I done heard about or whatever, and they're right here by me, in front of me, over my head. So I don't know, I ain't know whether it was gonna go fly past me or stop or what. But before they get past, I was like, test me. See if I'm a real man of God. You know, let's get this over with. Check me out, test me. Wasn't no probes, but no torture, none of that. I was good. If anything, if I was scanned or something like that, it was the electricity or whatever. They get all what they needed to know. Plays less than probably about, no more than a minute. 'Cause I was just watching the electricity like going up and down and kind of looking around, and I watched it go up and down probably about 6 or 7 times. Just looking, so that's why I say it was about less than a minute. But the way they look and the things I seen and the abilities that I'm thinking like they're capable of, but that I ain't seen just about the little stuff I seen, I thought they could do more than this. So that's why I say, yeah, they know me. Like just that little time up in there, because man, please, I'm up in their vicinity of their house. So that's why I said, yeah, they know me, and whatever they wanted to know, they did it real quick. I'm sure way better than anything on this earth or whatever whatever they did. You know what I'm saying? Check me out, see was I lying or what? And realize, like, yeah, we bumped into the right person. He do believe in God. He always have. He was for real. All through his childhood. Yeah, they met the right person. They knew it. Yeah. And thank them for inviting me into their house or whatever it was. But I say craft a lot because that's what most everybody know, but it was basically like a fireball, light, electricity, and a beam. Seemed like that was it. I didn't see no metal that time or nothing. Just a fire, light, the fire, the light, and the silhouette when they was approaching. I didn't see the electricity, so I got up in there. I figured out, okay, and the beam. So I put 2 and 2 together. Okay, this electricity going up and down. It's right behind him. That's where the blinking come from. When it ducks behind him, it's like the lights go off. It comes up or go over, light comes on. So it looked like it's blinking. So I like put 2 and 2 together, like, yeah, because I'm looking at it. Because I came in, it was like coming in from the side, because the bean, he was in the front. So, boom, I'm like right in the middle. I'm right in the middle, right there by the electricity, watching it. So the bean, he was on my right. He was in the front. Like I described in my other video. I did that one yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got on no hat. I think I got on this black sweater. But, yeah. Hey. I'm not really trying to run around trying to convince people. None of that. Ain't trying to bring nobody to God or whatever. It's on you. I ain't running around out saying, hey man, the world is coming to an end. Hey, none of that. You know what I'm saying? You got the internet and all this other stuff. And please, all I gotta do is make a video, make some comments. Somebody gonna hear it. I ain't got to run around all over. And then, please, I'm 58 years old. You know, so I've been living here. I know how people are. Anyway, I live around them all my life. So I'm not trying to convince you of nothing. I see a whole lot of ridiculousness. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the old school, and this is 2024 going into 2025, man. Please. I'll be on the internet watching for years and everything. Not just on the internet, I'll be outside. You know? I got to make a living, so hey, I can't be in the house all day. I'm out here. I see the music videos, some everything. You know, everything y'all see on TV or the videos, everything happen. The P. Diddy stuff, the industry, and all this stuff going on. You know, hey, I see it too. It's ridiculous. You know? And, hey, I'm human. I'm like being lenient because I'm down here too. I'm human, but I ain't tripping. Because when it comes down to it, when it's time to go, it's time to go. I ain't tripping on that. But I'm thinking about like, humans like, man, hey, I can't convince y'all to, you know, everybody got free will. I can't convince y'all to do what you don't want to do. I ain't gonna try to. Like I say, I know people. Anyway, you're gonna do what you want to do. You're gonna believe what you want to believe. And most nowadays, you're not gonna believe anything unless you see it. You want to see it. So some things you're just not gonna see. You're gonna have to use your head. But it's on you. But yeah, you know, like I say, I'm lenient. I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? But I do ride with God, the Holy God. You know what I'm saying? If He asks me to do something, I'm doing it. If He asks me to ride, I'm riding, I'm rolling, all that. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I'm down here with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm just chilling. But the ones in the Fireball, nah, they ain't gonna be lenient like me. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes down to it, and I have to be in that position, like I say, hey, man, I grew up in the hood. You know what I'm saying? I know how to ride when it comes down to riding. And if I got to ride with the Holy God, that's who I'm riding with. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, hey, I'm down here with y'all. I'm chilling. You know what I'm saying? And the ones in the Fireball, hey, they ain't as cool as me. You know what I'm saying? It's like when somebody ready to get you, and they like, man, we take care of this now. But you get somebody like, nah, man, nah. They alright, man. I think they'll learn. They're a little slow. You know what I'm saying? You know, yeah, they really messed up. They really terrible. You know, chill. You know what I'm saying? But when it come down to it, if the word ain't, please, the nuclear stuff y'all got, what? It's not gonna mean anything. It's not gonna mean anything. You know, they'll end up doing something spiritual, something that you never seen, never heard about. You know, something like you wouldn't even imagine. Like back in the days when they were talking about the Pharaoh and Moses, telling them about the plagues and all this other stuff, and the kids, like all the firstborns, Pharaoh, them, like all the firstborns, like died, stuff like that. It could easily be reversed. It could easily be reversed or done another way. And what I mean is that they did like all the firstborns, like the last time in Moses' days. And nowadays it's so ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. It's worse. It's ridiculous. So since it's really ridiculous, instead of the firstborn, it could be a whole different flip. Like get rid of almost everybody and just leave the 1 year olds and under. And all the parents and everybody grown people, you don't have to worry about the kids. And the reason why to be 1 year old, everybody minds will be fresh. None of this nonsense that's been put in the world. And all the angels will come in and raise the kids and teach them everything that they taught our ancestors and everything, and start back over. You know what I'm saying? Give them a chance to live and have free will. And so far down the line, they eventually think the past was a fairy tale, like people do right now. And then they end up happening again after so many years. It end up happening again. So it could easily be switched. Like I say, hey, I'm a cool person. Like I say, whoever they was in the Fireball, they know me. They know I ride, especially with the Holy God. Especially if they give me one of them Fireballs. But yeah, I ride with the Lord though. For real when it come down to it. But like I say, I'm down here with y'all. And they encounter me for a reason. And basically I know it's what I'm explaining to y'all. But I probably see it on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. You know what I'm saying? When I talk about God, I don't play. You know what I'm saying? I don't play. I ain't trying to get on God's bad side. So if I'm mentioning God, I'm serious. I don't play. Not like that. But I think something else to talk about them in the UAPs. I guess I'll make another video. But like I say, hey, God bless. You all take care. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, I'm out here with y'all, but I'm not gonna be around. Listen to this word. Let me talk to you, my brother, and all that. I don't even talk like that. I'll be like, man, what's up, player? But you ain't gonna see me. I got a Bible. I got the big one, the big family Bible. The big white one. I do have one, Holy Bible. But I don't go outside with it, carrying it, and all that other stuff. Trying to stop. I don't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? I don't do none of that. But if you talk to me about God, I will speak something. I speak with my own words. I probably won't be reading out the Bible or memorizing scriptures. I don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I comprehend. I speak what comes out of me. What I comprehend, I put into my words. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But hey, God bless. You know what I'm saying? I'll make another video. You know what I'm saying? Y'all take it easy.